Hello everyone, and welcome to this video about dreams. A lot of us, and I don't mean like sleeping dreams, nighttime dreams. What I mean is the dreams that we have that motivate us, that get us up in the morning, that make us do the things that we want to do. A lot of people that I know and a lot of my clients don't have dreams. I mean, I say that kind of loosely. They do have dreams. Almost everybody that I know, almost all my clients have the same two dreams in common. They want to get a good job and have a family. Now, there's variations on what that means to them. A good job for some of them might mean owning their own business, or a family might be, having a girlfriend or a wife, but not necessarily having kids, or maybe marrying somebody who has kids, or something like that is equivalent. The point is, though, that that's all they want. They just want a good job or a good career and a family. And the only problem I see with that is when you lose one or both of those things, it's almost like we lose our purpose in life, our desire to live, our reason to exist. And that's a problem, because our job and our family isn't entirely dependent on ourselves. They require other people. So somebody else might be dissatisfied with our job or our relationship, and they might end them, even though we were perfectly happy and content in that life choice. So we could lose those things for reasons much beyond our control. And therefore, our life's goal, our purpose, our reason to exist could be taken from us for reasons beyond our control. Now, I say that loosely because usually there is some version of control that we've had. In other words, if my relationship has ended, I had some participation in why it ended. However, I might not have had enough say in keeping it together. In other words, I might have been perfectly willing to do what it takes to fix the relationship, but my partner isn't. When I lose my career, when I lose my job, maybe something happens that gives me a bad reputation in that career. And I might be willing to do what it takes to fix that thing, but my reputation is still ruined and I can never work in that career again. And that is things that are beyond our control. And where this comes from is we're told as kids, as young adults, as adults, to get a job and settle down with a family. That don't quit your day job. Whenever we try something artistic or something outside of a normal career, we're taught don't quit your day job. Don't count on that making a living off of that. Most people who do those things don't make a living. And especially when we're talking about artistic things or entrepreneurial things, we're told to get a career first and do those things afterwards so that we have some stability. Athletes are often told, you have to have a career after you're done being an athlete. Well, great. But what I want when I'm 25 or 30 or 35, when I'm done my sports, will be different than what I want when I'm 15 and just getting into sports, or not just getting into sports, but just getting into the idea of professional sports. Just starting to compete for professional sports. What I want when I'm done that sport will be completely different than what I want when I start that sport. I don't know what I want. Trying to make a kid get an education as a business person, as a lawyer, as a doctor, as a whatever you're trying to make them do when they're 15, they're probably not going to want to do that when they're done being an athlete, when they retire from being an athlete, or when they injure out of being an athlete. They would have had an entire lifetime of experiences. Most professional athletes that I have talked to, met personally, have a completely different outlook on life when they injure out or retire than they ever did when they started, when they were teenagers. And therefore, making them decide those things at the start is usually harmful. You're actually taking their focus away from their dream and putting into something practical. Who's to say dreams aren't practical? That is on the very large and dangerous assumption that dreams are impractical. When those dreams of becoming a rock star, those dreams of becoming a football player, those dreams of becoming an Olympic athlete, those dreams of changing the world with my business, of building this product or selling this thing or traveling the world, those dreams, those are what drive us to do better, to become something, to matter. And if you kill those dreams and make us go to school instead, and you kill those dreams and you make us settle down with a family instead, and you tell us that, well, those are great as hobbies, but they're not going to support you. When you say that, you basically are telling me that what I really want doesn't matter. The thing that drives my passion, my energy, the thing that fires up my soul has no value, especially to the people who are most important to us. My parents, my mentors, my teachers, my family. That's what happens to our dreams. We kill them. We intentionally destroy them. So that by the time we become adults, all we want is a wife and kids and a job. And when somebody takes those away from us, because somebody judged us as not good enough, even though we're doing our damnedest, when somebody else judges us as not good enough, we lose not just our family or our job, or perhaps both, maybe our home. We lose our desire to live, our desire to exist. And especially in men, this is the case. Men are 4 or 5 times more likely to commit suicide than women. The attempts are about equal. Men are more likely to succeed. Men die because when they lose the only 2 things they were told they were allowed to have, get nothing else to live for. Their passion was killed years ago when they were children, often when they were young children, little children. What happens to our dreams? We're told they're not important. We kill them in our children. We tell our kids that they're not as important as having a family and a career. Well, what I know is when I had a family and a career and lost them, I attempted suicide a dozen times. Why didn't I succeed? Because I didn't want to believe that was the end. I wanted somebody, while I was attempting, as I attempted, to come and tell me these dreams are real. Maybe a wife and a family and a job isn't all there is to life. They're gone. I can't have them back. But maybe there's something more. I wanted someone to tell me there's something more. I had this desire for there to be something more. I had no idea where it was going to come from or what it was going to look like or who was there, but I believed that there was something more. So why did I not succeed in attempting suicide? Why did I fail even at that? I failed at being a father. I failed at being a husband. I failed at being an employee. I failed at so many things. Why did I fail at even attempting to die? Because I had hope. Because there was something that I believed deep down in my soul that could drive me more, that could drive me forward. I didn't let my dreams die. I just let them hibernate. I buried them so deep inside myself, I couldn't even find them anymore. I was suicidal for 35 years. Since my teenage years. And I was 50 before I decided to stop being suicidal. And now that I'm not anymore, now that I've decided I don't want to die, I have a drive. I have a passion. I know what I want from this world and what I want to give this world. I know how I want to do things. I know how I want to make a difference, leave a legacy. I know what I want, what I'm worth, and what I can do for you. Unfortunately, most of us don't. So what I'm here to tell you is those dreams that your parents told you are just a hobby or not worth pursuing or could never support you, those dreams are the reason you exist. Those things you wanted to do when you were 2 or 3 or 5 or 15, those things, they're why you're here. They're your purpose. Yeah, having a job and a family are wonderful accessories to that. They're wonderful ways to support your dreams. They're wonderful ways to have a reason or a path, a method, a tool to keep going. Your wife, your kids, your job, your employer, they can all help you achieve those things. They're perfect. They're wonderful. As a matter of fact, they're the best way to achieve your dreams. However, they aren't your dreams. Unless all you wanted was to become a father and a husband, then God forbid somebody doesn't take that from you. Like they did from me. Like they do from so many other men. Like they do from so many hundreds, thousands, even millions of men in the Facebook groups, the depression and divorce and single dads groups that I'm a part of. The number one complaint by the vast majority, 95% of the complaint that men have in those groups is, when my wife left, I had nothing. When I lost my job, I had no value. I had no purpose. I didn't want to live anymore. I don't want to live anymore. A lot of guys from those groups do disappear. Now, maybe they disappear because they found help. Maybe they disappear because they found some happiness, some success. But I promise you that some of them disappeared because they died. They died by their own hand or by their own choice. One of the things that suicide statistics don't track is the guys that die by disease or addiction and not intentionally by their hand. I've known 4 guys personally who have died by addiction. I met them at dryout centers. I met them at homeless shelters. I met them at places where guys go to get help. They got the help. In many cases, they were sober for years, but they didn't have a purpose. So they chose to go back to their addiction, and specifically because they knew their addiction would kill them faster than cancer. Because they knew that their addiction would eventually end up in their dying. And I know 4 guys who went back to their addiction, not to die specifically, but because at least it allowed them to shut off their brain, and they didn't care if they happened to die in the process. They weren't trying to die, but they were trying not to live. And if you ask me, it's the same thing. We can't stop addiction if we don't give these guys something to dream about. We can't stop prostitution if we don't give women something to dream about. We can't stop homelessness. Jobs are not the answer to homelessness. Dreams are. Passion is. A reason to exist is. The answer to an anger issue, to depression, dreams. Something to hope for, something to drive for, something to be. We all want to be something. And sometimes it's big. I want to be president, or I want to be the owner of the biggest company, or I want to change the world in this way or change the world in that way. I want to save the planet. I want to save the whales. I want to, whatever the case may be. There are all kinds of things that we might want to do, but there are some that are small. I want to help my mom get over her cancer. I want to help my brother save his marriage. I want to help my kids go to college. Those are dreams. Pursue them. The things that drove you as a kid, maybe you wanted to be a fireman as a kid, and as you grew up, maybe you decided a fireman isn't what you wanted, but something about being a fireman drove you. There was a passion there. Maybe it was helping people. Maybe it was wearing the uniform. Maybe it was driving the big fancy truck. Whatever it was. Find that passion and pursue it, because that's the dream that will fire you up when everything else falls apart. That's the dream that will attract you to jobs, to careers, will attract family to you. That's the dream, that's the power, that's the energy, that's the passion that makes the most wonderful people want to be around you. That's what makes employers go, I want that guy. That's what makes women go, I want him. That's what makes kids go, man, I wish I was like my dad. That passion, that drive, that desire to pursue that thing that you love so much that you maybe even forgot what it is. Maybe you don't even know what it is. Maybe you never did. But that passion, and all of us have it, every single person has one. That passion is what drives you. That passion is what will keep you alive, help you thrive, and build a place in this world for you and those you love. You want to find that passion? Give me a call. Drop me a line. Comment on the video. Send me an email. It's in my About page. I'm here to help. Helping you, this is my passion. I'll see you in the next video.